Hello, this is Dr. Nancy Trimbley with your Healthcare Arsenal podcast. This podcast is designed for that person who knows there's a better way towards health and wellness. They just don't know what that better way is. And my hope for you is that with each passing episode, you get closer to being your own best expert. I am so excited today to have Jules Apollo with us, author of the book Spirit Guides on Speed Dial. Love that title. The book is a, there it is. It is a
I
front.
can find it. Yeah, there we
There
go.
it is. It is a front to back, cover to cover read, taking you through the journey of first realizing that you have guides around you constantly, all the time, your whole life. And because of our instant yes and our soon to be released instant yes advanced course, this is a perfect mesh to that and takes all those talents that you, our community members, have been utilizing to a whole nother, I don't even want to say level because it's a whole nother universe. Um, and what I got out of Jules' book, now remember, I've been using the Instant Yes talents for decades. I've been auto writing for decades. Auto writing is what opened me up to the wisdom of my innate knowing, and really has guided me, especially this last number of years as I made a big transition in my life. So I've been doing that already. And what I got from Jules' book is knowing that there are individual, I don't want to say personalities, but individuals that are with me all the time for specific reasons, in acquainting myself personally with those entities. So it's been so exciting for me. So that's what I got out of the book. And so without further ado, here's Jules Apollo. Nice to see you, Jules.
Nice to see you, Nancy.
So tell us, what do you most want our audience to hear about today?
Well, as we were talking before the podcast, I went through a lot of what's on the uh, member portal and looked at the different modalities that people have gone through and what the Instant Yes course is going into. And I think that there's a lot of ways that I can share that are helpful about knowing how to tap into your inner wisdom, whether that is your intuition or whether it's actually spirit guides, whether it's soul guidance, however you want to call it, whatever feels comfortable to you. And also ways to use our bodies as spiritual guides, spiritual support, how to know what truth feels like in our body. So when we're looking at medications or going after dreams or goals or whatever, we have the ability to trust ourselves to come up with the answers and the support that we need. And I have found that incredibly supportive as I've gone through my spiritual path. So, and it's easy. And a big thing about my approach is very pragmatic, very practical. It has to be easy, it has to be quick, or I just don't do it. So,
Right, I know. I know. I like to say, people say, "You're so brilliant. Like, how did you think of that?" I'm like, "No, I'm really just lazy, and I'm just looking for the fastest possible way to do something." So, yeah, that was the other great thing about your book is that, you don't have to meditate for an hour and a half every day. You don't have to be trained in transcendental meditation. It's like, no, it's quick and it's easy. So, so tell me more.
well, everything in the book was developed when I was a single mom and I had no support. I had three sons, the age of 6 and under, including twins when I got divorced, and I didn't have any support. And so everything in there has to fit into a single mom's day, right? And so
Can't even imagine.
um, so a lot of what I came up with, what I looked for was support for very simple things like, where did I put the keys, or get me a
Right.
parking space. I lived in Chicago at the time, so being able to program a parking space was a huge deal. But also up through how to go after my dreams, uh, how to find ways to quiet my mind, no matter what was going on. Because if there was trauma going on or something was wrong with the kids, I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anything. So I had to find ways to find that support within myself and access. The guides started showing up when I started trying to meditate just to quiet the voices in my mind. I had a lot of inner critics, um,
A lot of monkey voices.
lots of them. I don't know if I have more than other people or, whatever.
Right.
I don't even really want to go into that. I start to sound insane. But I have to be grateful to him in some ways, because I wouldn't have developed these techniques if I hadn't been trying to just find some peace of mind in the midst of taking care of everything else that was going on in my life. So,
Yeah, that mind chatter, it can be, I mean, at best distracting, at worst defeating. It disrupts the connection to other humans and our beautiful human experience of sights and smells and tactile sensations. Um, and I find that too, that I think that's why I started auto writing, is because I needed to get like a clear conduit of the
mm-hmm,
wisdom. I'm just gonna sit here with my pen and paper. I'm just gonna write, and
mm-hmm,
I'm not gonna like worry about what's going on the page. And you bring up something really profound too, is that it's the simplest things. I had a great experience the other day, and I don't want to take away from your time, but I'm really in this mode of refining the Instant Yes Advanced course, and one of the things I do is if I have 3 or 4 errands to run, what should I do first? Or I have the choice between going to this grocery store and this grocery store. Which one should I go to? And my guidance told me, go to this store for this item, and I'm like, oh God, do I really want to drive over there? And it's probably gonna be busy. But I drove over there. Traffic was fine. Parking lot was empty. I pull in. I'm in the store, and all of a sudden I hear, Nancy! It was my 2 nieces who were in the store. And it
oh,
was just such a great communion to see them. And it was one of my niece's birthdays. And it was just like, oh, that's why I was supposed to be here now. So it's like the littlest things that you can ask for guidance for, like you say, a parking spot, or where are my keys? And it's those little day to day things that just bring joy to the moments.
and that's a great way to start. If you're wondering, this isn't going to work for me, or I don't know how to do it, try little teeny things. Turn it into little experiments. I'm a scientist by my training, so a lot of my way I developed techniques was, okay, I'm going to try this. I'll tweak it a little bit, and then if it doesn't work, then I get rid of it and I try something else. So parking spaces, trying to quiet your mind, looking, having 2 point decisions, right? Two choices, and just seeing which one feels better. Our bodies have so much wisdom. Um, what feels good? You can go back and think about um, when you learned something in the past that was important for you, and try to remember, how did that feel in my body? Or when something happened and you had that discomfort and you didn't listen to it, and then something bad
Right.
happened, you can start to learn to translate what your body's trying to tell you. Um, and it's really helpful, because then you can keep building upon that. And if you want to work with your spirit guides, you can say out loud, I want help. Please, start to work with me, make it clear, show me how to understand what you're saying. And you can say, I'm uncomfortable with this. You have to make it clear and easy for me to understand. Right? So there's a lot of ways to start, very small. Um, and you might
Yes.
look at how you ended up listening to this podcast, because something drew you here to hear me say things today. So look at that, or look at the books that you've found, or movies, or people. How did you get guided? Was it a nudge? Did you get, like, I just got goosebumps? Did you get goosebumps? Right? How there's all these ways to pay attention. Um, that opens up a whole different way of looking at life.
I totally agree with that. And one of the things I love from your book is how you talk to people who are they are maybe have some religious background,
Mm-hmm.
or they feel like they are somehow not worthy of spiritual guidance. Like, who am I to have a spirit guide? Talk to me about that a little bit, because I hear that from some of our members, is that, well, I don't know, is it a good one, or is it bad, is it voodoo, like what is that?
So there's two parts of that I want to address. First is that everybody, I can assure you, 100%, everyone has spirit guides, and not just one. You, there's a whole room. I can feel them right now. There's a whole room of guides behind me right now, specifically because of the people who are going to listen to this in the future. That you have love and support literally right at hand, and they get like this with me. Oh, I just want to give them a hug. Right? There's so much love there. So, and feeling worthy was a huge. I didn't start to like myself till I was in my 50s. I mean, I just had, again, I think part of my path has been overcoming this so I can share the lessons that I've learned. But the second thing is learning how to trust what it is that you're sensing. That's a huge thing. And I go into this in the book. But the easiest thing is your guides. When you start to work with them, you can say, I set the intention to only work with my guides of highest light. You want to only work with it's being efficient. Like Nancy said, don't mess around with whoever just recently passed and they want to help you buy a used car. That is not what you need, right? You Let's be efficient. Just call for the highest guides, the highest light, the highest love, right? And again, what I go into in the book is the use of intention. But intention is actually like a superpower we have, because it pulls in our will on the physical plane and begins to line up the energy of our soul, because we're in a body for a reason. We're a soul who's having a human experience for a brief period of time, right?
I
So when we set our intention and you say, I intend to get guidance of the highest good in support of my goals and dreams, right? There's all these things, but if you intend it and you say that out loud, it's like a thou shalt not pass thing in the Lord of the Rings. There is quite a bit of power in that. So, learning to trust the guides or your inner wisdom, it's going to feel good. Your guides of highest light, your soul, it only feels good. Now, they might bring a dream to you that makes you kind of nervous to go after, but it's that excited nervous, not the fearful pull in nervous. You can even pay attention. What does your body do? Like some of the muscle testing that you did, the leaning forward, the leaning in, instead of the contraction. Really,
instead of the repulsion, right?
there's so much wisdom in our bodies. um, and for me, one of the things that I really learned to lean into was when I hear someone speaking truth or something that's important for me, it's almost like my spine clicks into place. It it feels, it's a full spine thing for me. It's really good for you to learn how your body communicates truth to you, or something that's not true, something that's not right for you, especially now with all the crap going on in media, right? To be able to discern what is good for you, no matter what somebody else might think. What's good for you? What do you need right now? Right?
Exactly. And that could be bad stuff and good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a supplement of vitamin D. Oh yeah, everybody should take that. Well, no, what's right for you?
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said. A few things about what you said. One is, I want to read to you. This is an excerpt from your book that I have saved in my notes on my phone. It's pinned to the top. It's right there. And it is, I'm calling forth all of my guides of highest light who can support me in reaching my goal of whatever you want. Please bring me inspiration and support and help me envision the best possible result I can create, discern what actions I should take and what I can leave to you. I love that. And make the process exciting and fun. I call forth the energy of maybe a specific guide. Please make your guidance clear and easy to understand. I'm so grateful for your support. Thank you. When I started saying this out loud, like things really started to happen. I started to see more and more synchronicities and just have more and more people come to my aid, like almost out of the woodwork, and say the things that I needed to hear. I really think that's what, like, I really think that's kind of like even open up some doors for our podcast guests that have all of a sudden come to me out of like nowhere of future recordings. So I love it. And it's so fun and it's so positive. It doesn't have to be something like heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing you just said was, we are just souls in a human body. And I know that all of us that are here on earth right now are here for a purpose because the earth it's in dire straits right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we as soul beings, I believe that we took on this task of becoming human. And being human is not fun. It's not easy, but there's
Mm-hmm.
so many things that we get to experience as humans that spirits do not.
Yeah. And there are, in this time of massive transformation on the planet, we are here for a specific reason, with talents, with gifts that we all need. We need to share those with the world, however we do it, even in small ways. And a lot of what my spiritual path is right now is just embodying peace as much as possible and beaming it out like I'm a lighthouse and anchoring it into the planet. So I can do that in my garden. I can do that when I'm standing in the grocery store in the line instead of getting upset about how long everything is taking. We can make massive, massive impacts on how humanity is feeling when we maintain these states of peace and love and creative expression and joy, because it's frequencies. The frequency of joy and love is so much higher than anger and fear, that when we choose to turn away from all the media, all the impulses that drive us to feel fear or separation or anger, when we just say, not now, and we turn in and we say, I am an embodiment of peace. I am an emissary of light. I have chosen to be here now to embody peace. It's like dropping a, a stone in a lake, and it does affect the overall baseline frequency of the planet. And so the more time that we can spend just being peaceful and not buying into the fear and the anger and the separation now, it seems like it doesn't make a difference, but I can tell you it does, because the whole time I'm saying this, I've got goosebumps, and that's because they're like, put this out there. It's very important. And so even if you feel like, what can I do? You can feel peaceful. You can share love. You can give hugs. You can tell somebody what you appreciate about them. Nobody does that enough, right?
Right.
My mother recently died unexpectedly, and my biggest regret is that I never let her let go of the hug first.
Oh.
You know, what a simple thing. What a
Right.
way to make someone feel treasured, you know, and that even that has ripple effects. So there's so much that we can do, no matter how much we've got going on, starting
Yes.
literally right where you are today. So,
Absolutely. I have right here, I keep this on my desk all the time, Power versus Force.
mm,
And it talks about exactly what you're saying, is that um the different levels of energy and frequency with different emotions go from 0. I think the Jesus level is 700. Most of humanity is existing around 200 or 250 with pride and hatred. And when we get up to the 400, 450 level of joy, then into love, that energy in that 400 to 600 range has multiples, exponential multiples of effect versus the lower levels.
Yep.
It just takes one person to have that feeling of joy, gratitude, kindness, putting that out there to undo the damage of the lower frequencies. Just one person. And for those of watching, this is you.
One of the things that I'm working on my next book um, is moving into how we become sovereign, how we embody the light of our soul on a more full-time basis. And as part of that work, a lot of it will be anchoring, connecting with the elemental realm, making sure we're grounded in the planet, and that because we're human and we have this body. And so our soul needs that connection to the planet to be grounded so more and more of the soul light can come in. But as part of that, I've started channeling the last few years these entities that come in as the Exaltia, and they just transmit the energy of bliss. And bliss comes in like it's almost like maple syrup, just pouring in and filling in all the little cracks and the places you're not secure and you're doubting yourself, and just becomes this just flow, this experience of flowing with love and light. And that sounds woo woo and whatever. But again, if you can do that in your garden, if you can feel bliss when you're folding your laundry, you are changing the baseline frequency of the planet and getting your laundry done,
And
right?
yes,
Doesn't have to be. You can squeeze all this stuff in the middle of your day. So,
that's so true. That's so true. And I've been blessed to be able to find that bliss state. Um, we're all souls in our in between lives, and a few of us, you're probably one of these people, remember that in between life. I do.
yeah.
And I find it very simple to tap into that blissful state. Now, do I like take the time to put myself there? Like, probably no, I don't, but I can go there, and it is like, I love your description. It is just like, it like fills every cell of your being, and it stays with you like a resonance. Like, it just is like a vibrational resonance that you just, when you're back in the real world, you just carry with you for a certain amount of time. Thank you so much for that reminder. um
I
the,
wanted to share one thing before you go on to the thing that surprised me most when I started working with my guides, was how much love there is. It's not just that you can get answers, but they literally will cocoon you, just literally wrap you up in love. The archangels will come in and hold you and then wrap you, and you are just held in this exquisite experience of everything is okay. You are completely okay just as you are right now. You are worthy of love and all good things happening to you. And that's all they want to give you. All these guides around you and your soul. The more you can tap into that, it's just yummy.
I agree, it's yummy. And one of the other things I got from reading your book, that I just kind of came to me in the last couple of days, is um, a soul mission partner. I have a soul mission partner that is not human. And I got the message to put on this partner like a silk robe, and
Mm,
just to wear around. And yesterday I put a
Enrobed
rubber
in
band
light.
enrobed. I put a rubber band on my wrist yesterday just to remind me, just to remember that. And at some point during the day, I took it off and I flung it into the dumpster on accident. I'm like, I guess I don't need that anymore. And it has stayed with me, and it's yeah, I'm getting the tingles right now just thinking about it. One of the other things you said was out loud to state your intention verbally out loud. And I talk about this in our instant clarity course, which takes you from a state of anxiety to a state of wisdom and to surrender. Just say, I surrender out loud. Um, and I feel like when you do that, the angels kind of hug you tighter when you just say, I surrender to you. Just I'm giving up because I have no control anyway.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the intention out loud.
Oh, it's so important. And especially when we have been brought up to feel that we don't have power, or that we're not supposed to say we have power, or that we're not worthy of power. Um, Again, I keep going back to this, but we are a soul in a body, and we are here for a mission. We came in with skills and gifts that need to be shared with the world in however feels comfortable or fun. But the intention just really is your way of saying, okay, this is my life, and this is what I want to do. This is what I've decided. Now help me. I'm pulling in all the energy that I am, and we're all multidimensional, and all the guides who are around me, all the support I can call in of highest light, and I am intending this. Now help me make it happen.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to say. It's no, there's no magic here. I put in all these scripts in the book because the number one question I get from people is, I don't know what to say. There's nothing sacred, but here you go. There's all these scripts in there. So if that gets you stuck, then read this, right? Change it however you
Just
want it.
right, just like I did. I just copied it from my Kindle and put it
And
in a note.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there you go. Then you're not stuck, right? So let's just remove any ways that we can get stuck. But I can't remember where I was going to ramble off on that. But it's very simple. I intend to, blah. Please help me, blah. Make it easy and fun.
Make
Thank
it
you.
easy and
Right?
fun. Make it
Everything.
obvious.
Yeah. I get messed up. Make it clear, right? And I even say that in the book. When you're going through trauma, say one of your kids is in the hospital, and you just need, you need everything. You got to make this clear. I can't understand right now. Make it right in my face. I need help right now. And the thing that I want to point out too, when you start doing this intention and all this stuff, like you mentioned, people will appear, doors will open, the guides work on the physical plane. You can be standing in line at the coffee shop and hear somebody say something that you've been wondering about. That's guidance coming to you. Don't doubt it.
Right.
If it helps you, if it feels good, run with it. They're moving things around. When you started saying something about um, things showing up, I just saw your guides opening a path and just moving things to the side. And that road is just going to keep getting clearer and clearer. Move along, people. Nancy's got something to do.
That is awesome. I in my book Self Health, I talk about when you ask the powerful questions, what if I could heal?
Hmm. I
Why
love
is
that
this occurring?
question. I
What
love
if
the
I
what if.
could?
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's AJ, our editor. I had that as a second question. She goes, no, that's your first question. and then um, and then why is this happening to me? And where are my resources? And I explain where your resources are. One of the resources is unexpected discoveries. You're sitting next to somebody on a plane, and they happen to bring up such and such, and you're like, That's exactly the answer I was looking for. Who are you and why are you here? Because angels put you there. That's why. That's how easy it is. But you have to have your ears open. You have to be ready to receive. That's why my first question is, what if I could heal? Because that's a mindset change.
Yep.
So, what if it was true? All of these spirit guides are literally surrounding you and cocooning you and just waiting for instruction from you. What if?
Yeah, the whole surrender, the whole how open are you to being guided, right? Get out of your head, get into your heart. Your head doesn't have all the answers. Your soul might want something that your brain never thought was possible. So be open to that, right? Um, there was something I was going to say.
Wait, you say that again though. Your soul might be.
Your soul might want things that your brain doesn't think is possible. Or your soul might have a way for you to get there tomorrow, but your brain thinks, oh, I got to do these 20 other things. No, you might not have to, right? Um, so be open to receiving. Be open to. Um, are you willing to let yourself be loved?
Oh, wow. That is so profound. Yeah. Yeah. I think, especially for women, we are always doing, fixing, doing, fixing, doing. Let's take care of this person, take care of that person. But in reality, we're stopping other people from fulfilling their purpose of showing love by not receiving and just
Mm-hmm.
letting, like bathing in that and allowing that.
And how many of us hold off on expressing what I call our wild genius, the most powerful, innovative, creative expressions of ourselves, because we worry about making other people happy? What if I shared my genius? What if I shared this power? Oh, the people around me might get intimidated, or they might not want me to shine. How many of us have to overcome that from our birth families? Let alone the partners we picked when we were a different person. I won't even go into that. But
We won't even go into that.
just releasing these outdated aspects of self. So it can be really useful to really check in, like on a yearly basis or quarterly or whatever. Who am I right now? Right? What do I need to let go of that no longer is resonant with who I am right now? The truth of me. And your
I mean,
stuff goes into that. Your community, you've set up your community to be able to access that with all the different things that you've shared.
thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. And um, I love my community because it gives me a place to put all the things that come into my head that I feel like people need to know or that I just feel a desire to share. Like, I just have to get this out there. I won't be able to think of anything else unless this goes in the community. And once
Mm-hmm.
it's there, then I can go on to the the next thing. Um,
And
and
that's why they're opening your path, because that is a lot of your skill strengths, is that sharing, right? And you do it in a very easy, graceful, supportive manner. But that's your path.
thank you. I had one of my business coaches told me at one point, she said, Nancy, your gift is to take a complex topic and break it down into simple, actionable steps.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I believe that. I believe that. And because like you say, it doesn't have to be difficult, it doesn't have to be time consuming. It needs to be easy, quick, and fun. And I think shareable too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I learned this from Dr. Nancy. Let me show you so that it has that ripple effect
Mm-hmm.
on the physical plane and also on the energetic plane. So true, so true. So, Jules, I have one final question for you. And this was not previewed to you. If you had a billboard for everyone to see, what would it say?
You are worthy of love and all good things happening to you. And you are surrounded by beings of the highest light who want to do nothing but share that love with you.
That's going to make me cry. I don't think I've ever cried in my own podcast before, but other people cry. I don't know, maybe I have in the past. But anyway, that was profound. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, I hope you come back in the future. I think we could talk for another bit, don't you think?
Yeah, and it might be good when, when people get through the course or whatever, if they have questions about what we've talked about, we could do a Q&A, or, you
That
could
would be
get
good.
questions from your community and we could go through them.
Yes, let's plan on that. So, for my audience, thank you so much for sharing this time with us. As always, I am hoping that with each episode, you get closer to being your own best expert. Bye for now.